I did an interview with Lord Jamar that we recently put out, and he said that he saw Tupac spit in the cop's face.
Wow.
Do you guys remember that?
I probably wasn't there for that.
Yeah, I don't think I was there either.
Shout out to Lord Jamal, man.
We done seen this motherfucker spit in the face of a police officer.
You
and
saw
nothing happened to him.
What, you saw?
Yes!
What was the situation?
Motherfucking, first of all, this motherfucker was riding around in a Benz in Cali, guns in the trunk, with no license plate. Just a Tupac sticker where the license plate goes.
Why did he not have a license plate?
Because he didn't give a fuck.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of shit that he was on. So, like, I don't know, niggas was at some shit, Snoop and them was there, fucking Naughty by Nature and them was there. Some fucking shit jumped off at an event and police was out there and you know what I mean? Trying to get move back, fuck you, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
He spit in the face of a cop.
Spit in the face of the cop and he ain't get locked up.
Shout out to Lord Jamal, the brand newbies, man. OGs right there.
He don't age that, man. He don't age, huh?
Oh, no doubt.
The same, man.
I did an interview with Chris Carroll, who was the first responder in Vegas. And I made a comment that Tupac hated the police. And a lot of people were like, yo, fuck you. I'm sorry. You know, a lot of people like, yo, Tupac didn't hate the police. He just hated crooked police. But I kind of got the impression that Tupac just didn't like the police in general.
But, you know, Pac mentioned that. I seen in an interview when Pac was like, he don't like crooked police. He said the ones that do their job and the ones that get out to protect, he said, we have nothing but respect because these people put their lives on the line every day. Right. You know what I mean? And I don't think nobody really got love for crooked police or anybody crooked in general, you know? Mm-hmm. But, you know, like if you talk to Edie and them, their history was different, man. They've been seeing police knocking at their doors since they was kids, you know what I mean? So I don't really know what's in that, you know, how they
Yeah,
feel.
I mean, you know, his perspective of law enforcement was just like he said, man. He didn't like the crooked police. You know, as far as Chris Carroll's story, I could see that being true because, you know, he was that kind of individual where he was very aware. You know what I mean? So I can see in that particular moment him thinking like this may be my last words. You know what I mean? Because remember, this is the guy that had put his middle finger up while he was on the stretcher. That shit made the cover of the Daily News. That's an epic picture. You know, who thinks like that? Right. You know what I mean? Most people be sitting there like, yo, I hope I make it out of this. I hope I survive. Not Pac, he's thug life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Crucial.
Yeah, and Tupac's last words were, fuck you, to the police.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I heard about it and I seen it online. It's sad to me, not because it's sad that, you know, he passed away like that. You know what I mean? Not because of the last words. So when I read these things, I look at it from a different standpoint of view. You know.
One of the, you know, because people love the conspiracy theories behind the.
They love them more than
behind
the
Tupac,
truth.
especially. Apparently, someone sent me a video of some white girl in Vegas being interviewed, and she said that a helicopter came to take Pac when he got shot. But when Chris Carroll told the story, he said an ambulance came. You were there.
No helicopter came.
There was no helicopter. No. Okay, that sounds like BS.
She might have been high, man. So you
Okay, I'm glad you cleared
Vegas
that up.
prostitutes, maybe. I don't know. people be talking to anybody.
Boy, you interviewing the Vegas prostitutes, Black.
No, it wasn't my interview. It was an interview that came out like during that time.
I was just messing with you, bro. Detective
No,
Vlad. You went a whole different deep, Vlad.
Right. Well,
Detective Vlad.
Detective Vlad, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, man. I mean, people like
some good questions.
Nah, I'll just that's
he
my
get it
job.
out of you, yeah.
I just want to, you know,
the prostitutes, though. That ain't cool, man.
My main thing is to try to get the conspiracy theories out of the picture.
It's a lot of them.
That'll never stop.
They believe the lies over the truth.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
Sure.
That'll never stop, bro.
One of the things depicted in the movie was that Tupac and Snoop were beefing right before the shooting happened. Now, you guys were there when
Yeah.
that happened?
Me and Napoleon was.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I
Okay,
was
so
there.
tell me about that
It
situation.
definitely was some tension. You know what I mean?
We was out there. I think we was in the limo in front of the hotel or something like that, and we was listening to the radio. And Snoop and them, he had just went on. I think it was Angie Martinez, and they asked him the question, how he felt and if Big and them, how he felt about Puff and them. He was like, them is his homeboys, which they was. He been had a relationship with him, and Pac just in the midst of hit him up, and the rant that Pac was on, not the rant, but the wave he was on at the time, you know what I mean? And he didn't like it.
And not only that, like what No said, they was homies, but you got to realize, look at it from Pac's standpoint of view. Now we older.
Right.
And I'm sure Pac was alive, he would be thinking much differently than he was back then. Him and Snoop would have probably been sat down and talked. But, Pac was angry not only because they said, not just because of that interview. A couple weeks before that, people don't know that Pac and Snoop did songs dissing Biggie. I remember hearing it. You know what I mean? So Pac looking at it like, okay, you dissing songs with me, you riding on my enemies together, because Snoop got his trailer shot up one time, and when they came back from New York, they just started doing songs going at him.
Okay, so
matter of fact, the whole Death Row was like, you had R&B singers doing diss records. The Bad Boy, like it had really gotten out of control.
It was crazy.
Okay,
It had went way to a level of. You know what I mean?
Okay, so there are songs with Tupac and Snoop dissing Biggie.
You can
that
go
were-
online and find these
I'm
songs.
sure
It's
it's-
a record
so
called
they got leaked out.
NY87. They got leaked out.
Yeah, so
It's online.
Pac was really mad, like, cause he's that type of, like Edie said, Pac all in or he not in at all. You know what I mean? His loyalty, like if he was the type of person that Snoop doing a song dissing somebody, Pac like, okay, you beefing with him, Snoop, I'm with him.
Right.
I'm with you on that. So Pac look at it like, okay, if this is how you feel, nobody can really say why Pac was mad but him, But Pac looking at it like, come on, man, you were just in L.A. dissing him with me. Now you on the radio saying something different. You know what I mean? So I think that triggered some type of attention, which was, I think it would have worked its way itself out. Pac had he did definitely have love for Snoop. When Pac passed away, Snoop was,
Sure.
they had love for each other.
Right, because Two of America's Most Wanted was, I feel, one of the best songs that Pac and Snoop ever had, period.
Yeah.
Period, in their
Classic
catalogs.
record.
Yeah.
And their chemistry on record was
Incredible.
Was
amazing,
incredible.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if we was talking about doing a Thug Pound album, we had talked about that a lot because that's how tight we was at one point.
Thug Pound.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thug
The
Pound.
craziest album ever.
I remember that.
There was going to be a Thug Pound. Why have I
Absolutely.
never heard of this? A Thug Pound album?
The fans
You
know
can talk
about it.
You can ask
Yeah.
Daz
Yeah.
about it. Daz know. We had actually started on it.
Right.
One of the records was
Initiated.
was the
Yeah.
first record.
Yeah.
And
Jack
we had
Move,
other records
couple
that we
joints.
did together as a collective, but they just never came out.
Yeah. Pac, Snoop, Dogg Pound, and the Outlawz. Can you imagine that as a super group?
My God. That would have been like the biggest thing ever.
That'd have been over for everybody.
Right, with Pac and
Oh,
Snoop
it'd been
all
over.
over it. And
It'd have been over for
right,
everybody,
and
man.
the Dog, Daz, and Corrupt,
Right.
and all that production
Come on,
and
man.
everything.
Had some Nate Dogg hooks up.
Yeah,
in
Nate
there.
Dogg.
It'd have been
Yeah,
over.
Warren G do a little something like.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd have been the one.
That would have been the one. So that was the reason why Snoop didn't go to Vegas.
You would have to ask Snoop why he didn't go to Vegas. All I know is he definitely didn't go to Vegas. But he came. He came towards the end. You know what I mean? And he was real.
He was affected. Yeah,
he was affected.
hurt.
He was
Yeah.
hurt. You know what I mean? Because they had a genuine friendship and a brotherhood. They was neighbors for a long time, and it was just this one disagreement towards the end that made it.
I'm sure they would have worked it out.
I believe they would have
They
too.
definitely would have worked it out.
Yeah, definitely. Pac had love for that dude, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely.